Greetings, Fiend and Fiendettes. It's time for yet another installment of Uberdemon's Movie Morgue. It's time to kick Halloween into overdrive. It's the week after Halloween, and I don't know when this is going to get posted. I don't know when I'm going to have time to throw this all together and edit it. I do have a lot to get through. I'm going to apologize for an absence around October, but I was on vacation that week, and unfortunately, I had a lot of stuff to do that week, even though I was on vacation. I'm going to start in high-def horror, and the first movie I'm going to talk about is not actually a horror movie, as you well know, but this movie is a great sequel. I think far surpassed the original. Great addition. If you love comic book movies, you love technology, pick this movie up. You won't be disappointed. Another sequel, not really horror-themed, but it's a lot like Silence of the Lambs, so I figured I'd include it. The Girl Who Played with Fire, which this is the second in the series of the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo books. So there's the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the Girl Who Played with Fire, and the Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. Which the Girl Who Kicks the Hornet's Nest, I believe, is still out in theaters right now. This had quite a long theatrical run. Even the second one, the first one, had a long theatrical run at the Art Theater here in Indianapolis. But I really enjoyed this movie. The story focuses more on Elizabeth in this one, and great story, great follow-up to the first one. I think these movies are great. I can't wait to see the third movie. And contrary to a local reporter, I think the third Swedish movie is probably going to be better than any of the American movies put together. So I look forward to seeing the American movies still, but I don't think they'll hold up to the Swedish films because American film is just too prude for what the Swedish film was throwing out there. And I even wonder if that particular reporter even enjoyed the books or not. But I'm going to get off my soapbox and talk about the next Blu-ray, which is the Rocky Horror 35th Anniversary Edition Blu-ray. Great movie. If you haven't seen this ever, watch it. It's hilarious. It's great. It's campy. It's a classic. The menus on this Blu-ray are really cool. The picture quality, again, amazing. If you're a Rocky Horror fan, definitely pick it up. Even if you have all the other DVD releases or whatever, pick it up. You'll love it. You'll enjoy the movie in a whole new way. I've had this movie. I'm sure I've talked about. In fact, I know I've talked about this movie several times before. But I finally got the Blu-ray, and the picture is great. This is the definitive release because it has the most recent DVD release as well as the Blu-ray release in one pack. And I think this was only like $17, 15, 16, 17 bucks at Best Buy. And you get new features, great high-quality picture. The intro menu I thought was really cool. Great zombie flick. If you're a horror fan and you haven't seen this movie yet, get off your ass, buy this Blu-ray or the DVD, watch it. You will not be disappointed. One of the greatest It's one of the greatest zombie movies ever made, in my opinion. Next, the controversial Human Centipede, the first sequence, which the second one is already in development, the full sequence, which is rumored to going to have 12 people connected ass to mouth. In the first sequence, you are treated to 3 people being connected ass to mouth in a human centipede fashion. This movie, I'm going to say, is single-handedly ushering a new era of grindhouse. You don't see movies like this being made anymore, and that makes me very happy. It's disturbing. It's almost disturbing as Salo, Pasolini's Salo. If you haven't seen Salo yet, don't, unless you really are a masochist, because the movie is just that bad, leaves you with no hope. Much like this movie, after watching a movie like this, it kind of makes you want to watch a happy movie afterwards, just to kind of cleanse your cinematic palate. But I really enjoyed this movie. It's very sick, very disgusting. If you're easily offended, I'm gonna say stay away. If you're into sick, disgusting cinema, pick it up. It's definitely worth a watch. Next, we have the re-release of Grindhouse on Blu-ray, which this is the double feature. This has both Death Proof and Planet Terror in one package, on one disc, complete with the faux trailers that were made for the Grindhouse theatrical release. In fact, what I've been calling this is Grindhouse the theatrical release on Blu-ray, because essentially that's what it is. It's what everyone experienced in the theaters when they went to go see this. If you have the DVDs and you have a Blu-ray player and you don't have this yet, buy this, take those used DVDs to half-price books, sell those sons of bitches, and pick up this, because this is what they should have released in the first place. The double feature with the faux trailers and everything. It made me re-enjoy the whole, both movies all over again. Next, again, Beating a Dead Horse, another great classic horror movie, another great classic, somewhat, I'm going to say, zombie movie. Evil Dead on Blu-ray, finally released, so all 3 Evil Dead movies are now on Blu-ray. I picked this up sometime after the 20th episode, shortly after it came out. Again, a great update to the picture. It's a lot like the Anchor Bay DVD release that came out, that thick hardbox kind of release that they came out with a couple years ago. But I still think this is a great release, great picture, great effects all lumped in. Although a lot of the bonuses are on a regular DVD, which is kind of questioning things there. But the collection's complete on Blu-ray now, so I'm a happy guy. I'm pretty sure I haven't talked about this film yet, but if I have, I'm going to mention again because it bears repeating. Survival of the Dead, the newest Romero zombie film, which is actually a direct sequel to Diary of the Dead. Has some of the same, it has essentially one returning character, I'm going to say, because it's really the only character you remember from Diary of the Dead, and he didn't have that big of a part in Diary of the Dead. It was kind of a bit part, but they fleshed out that character, and he was an infamous character in Diary, but the journey they take him on through this film is much more interesting. And I'm going to say this, out of the 3 newest Romero films, Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, and Survival of the Dead, I'm going to say Survival of the Dead's the best of the 3. Out of the new films, it's kind of like, again, it's more scaled down. It reminds me of a lot of his other films. It reminds me of Dawn of the Dead because of the military aspect. It reminds me of Day of the Dead because it's the 3rd in the series, and you know, we've taken this so far. We've gone through a whole new showcase of characters that weren't followed after that in Land of the Dead. In Diary of the Dead, you have a cinema verite kind of feel where it's all shot on kind of handheld kind of feel to it, and then leads into this, which is kind of like the things come to a head, the culmination of the series, if you will, and it reminds me of Night of the Living Dead because all the rural and pastoral field farm setting. Again, this is, in my opinion, the best film out of the new 3 Romero films. Check it out.